Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm sure Roger's going to be jumping in any minute. We have another week of very exciting news and exciting things to come. I was actually just in Temple today looking at properties for a couple of investors, and there is a lot of action in Temple. So don't sleep on Temple, guys. I'm going to share some information with everyone. Hopefully, it will be in an email soon. And there are some really good opportunities, including opportunities for new construction as well. So look forward to hearing that from everyone. As always, if you have any questions or want to discuss anything in particular while we're on the webinar, go ahead, click on the chat box. We'll answer all the questions at the end of the webinar. Or if you think of anything and maybe you are listening to this on the road or watching this at another time, feel free to send us a message or an email, DM, whatever the case may be, with a couple of topics or areas that you want us to discuss further. And we are happy to include those on next week's webinar. Send me a chat, tell me hello, give me something. Otherwise, I'll resort to rapping. And I don't think anyone wants to hear that. It's only cute when Rosie does it. Hey, Raji.
Hey, good to see you. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Really good, really good. I love your look today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
that's really
you. You can't
nice.
see my ears, with the screen. Have some
Yeah,
ears too.
I'm loving this weather.
Me too. I'm here for it. It was
Yeah.
sprinkling when I was driving to Temple today, but it
Oh,
was a
nice.
nice vibe. I liked it.
Yeah. So did you go down 35?
I did.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it was
And,
easy.
any updates? How was traffic going through there?
No traffic at all. And I left pretty early, like it was around 8:30. Um,
Hmm.
and once I hit Georgetown, so once I hit like 29 and 35, it literally took me 32 minutes. That's it to get to Temple.
That's not bad at all. And
No,
probably seeing some road work or expansion.
a little bit, but nothing to the fact of not anything that was like hindering
Crazy.
traffic. Um,
Okay.
I think they've done a lot of work already
Mm.
because I've been down 35 at other times where it's not so
Yeah.
pretty, but they didn't really have much going on, and all the lanes were open, everything was good. It was an easy drive. Put my
Yeah,
podcast
it's not taking me very long to get to Dallas either. Like, it used to take a whole lot longer to get there because of Waco and all the construction there.
on.
But I feel
Mhm.
like it's really opened up and things are flowing, so that's really good. But I always get excited when I hear about Temple and real estate because it's right there in the middle of, Dallas and Austin, so it's perfect.
I was actually just kind of talking a little bit before you got here,
Hmm.
and sharing that there are so many new neighborhoods going on, like building in Temple, and
Yeah.
Temple is a lot larger than you would think. I mean, it expands. There are some really great incentives going on with builders for the end of the year. I told everyone I'm going to be sharing more of that information probably next week or in an email soon once I gather everything. But I found some really exciting things in Temple that I'm like eager for
Yeah.
everyone to see.
Makes me want to take a ride after this. Go check out Temple. A lot of people, I guess, if we can maybe show them on the map where Temple is, I'll share my screen real quick. I had a friend of mine just talking about moving out there, looking at some property, and he was asking me about Temple, and I said, you should go for it.
Yeah.
So,
We've had a couple of clients who one guy worked for Dell, and
mhm,
because Dell is only going into the office like once, maybe twice a week, they
mhm.
moved up to Temple because they could get, more for their money.
Ah,
Um, and I've had some other people that were living in Georgetown that have been looking at Temple.
oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if for all our listeners out there, this is the geographic layout. We're just a little ways down from Georgetown, and I think Brittany says about 35 minutes.
Less than, and I was kind of going on the outskirt of Temple for the first location. So if I were to go just straight 35, it probably would have taken me like 27 minutes. Okay.
Oh my
Because I
goodness.
kind of had to go out like, 10 minutes.
And Georgetown is actually one of the fastest growing one of the fastest growing cities, if not the fastest growing city of its size. I actually think it is. Let's take a look at Georgetown population. And I really like Georgetown because I think Georgetown's pushing a lot of that growth, Georgetown. So I think we were at what 16,000 people in 1990. Let's see, 2010 was the last consensus. So we went up from 48,000 all the way now to 75,000. So
Wow.
this isn't the MSA, but if you look at some of the other readings, like the MSAs, I think it
Mhm.
went from 45 up to 90,000, so or 94,000. It definitely doubled in size.
And
Mhm.
Georgetown is huge. We're seeing so many new neighborhoods popping up in Georgetown area.
Yeah,
Um, I kind of have, it used to be downtown Austin was where everything was at, right? And then it was Domain,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Now, like, even I feel like people are like downtown Round Rock, right? Which is just inching itself further north and north and north.
So going back to Temple, I just want to show them where that double digit growth, where it's happening. Yeah, Temple, Texas. So Temple and Georgetown. I think Georgetown has a lot to do with pushing that growth outwards into Temple, wouldn't you say?
I think so.
And a
Yeah.
little bit that downward pressure from Waco.
Yeah, a little bit of downward from Waco, but I think more so Waco, it's Georgetown and
Oh,
people
really?
to migrate north. Temple is kind of so we have Georgetown, which is pretty established. They still have commercial that can come up, but there's a lot of commercial there. Gerald and Salado, right? They don't
Mhm.
have too much commercial yet. Things are definitely coming. Salado has more of like a cute downtown. Gerald
Yeah.
has a couple of things that are there, but Temple has, a full
Oh,
economy, its own. I mean, they have Baylor Scott and White, they have Temple College, University of Mary Hardin Baylor. They have everything.
that's a
Walmart,
huge footprint right
Samsung.
there. And you and I were talking about Liberty Hill earlier, and I'm noticing so much growth in Liberty Hill. And I think there was well, yeah, in 2010, we went from 926 people all the
Wow.
way up to 6,800 or like 9,000 MSA. So 909,000 people. Can you believe that?
I feel like Liberty Hill has more than that.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think this is just one subdivision.
yeah, I'm like that just in Santa Rita Ranch alone,
Yeah. And
because
it's a little deceiving, yeah, because Leander's right there, and I think it's on the cusp. So we
yeah,
get some of that reading going into Leander. Now Leander doubled, or I think they went from I don't remember. Let's see, let's take a look at Leander. Because Leander's right there next to Liberty Hill, right? So Leander population. So here in 2010, we were at 27,000, and
wow,
now we're at 67,000. So we
wow.
tripled.
Yeah.
I
And
wouldn't
guys,
say tripled, doubled.
this is 2021 and remember the big boom we had in 2022, so I kind of feel like it's so much more.
Yeah, yeah. So I think, we saw a little cool down in all the different MSAs. Like I think during this was COVID. And right about then, I think everybody just went home to their parents or their family for a little while. And it was really weird because it doesn't matter which metro you pull up. Right about here is when everybody saw a little dip. And I said, where do they go back to? So a lot of our population is actually it's local to Texas. It's moving in to Houston, Dallas, Austin. It's moving inwards.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of those people just went back home to their small town or whatever, work from home during COVID. And that's what's caused this little blip right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we can take a look at some headlines. It's really promising stuff. Okay, so it really feels good when I hear news like this. The New York Stock Exchange president, Lynn Martin, was here in Dallas last week.
Hmm.
And she said the Dallas Fort Worth market is an important one because more than 200 of the almost 2,400 companies listed in the New York Stock Exchange are headquartered in Texas. More than 50 are located in Dallas Fort Worth.
And Texas is our home away from home.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's from the New York Stock Exchange, right? And here she's mentioning all of Texas, 200 companies headquartered in Texas, but she was in Dallas specifically last week.
Hmm.
Moving on down, we're number 7 amongst best cities for foreign business, Financial Times, and I think these guys they just don't want to. They have a beef with us. They don't want to put us at number 1. That's just how it's going to work for a little while, and but a lot of that might have to do with several different factors, you know. So I won't pick on them too hard. But Houston came in at number 1, moving Miami aside,
Wow.
and which fell down to number 6. This is one of Austin's best ranking years ever. I believe it was ranked at number 14 before. You know, Dallas and Irving are actually so close together. So 4 and 5 makes sense.
You know, Roger, I have
Now,
a question and I wanted to get your input on
please,
this
please, please.
because, we see a lot of Texas, right? Austin, Houston, Dallas. We are ranking in different things, right? And
Yeah,
when we have people that are wanting to invest in the Texas area, a lot of people sometimes seem to pick the places that are on the list, right? They say, oh, I need to be in Austin Metro, Austin City, or I heard Round Rock is number 1, right? Or
yeah,
I have to be in Irvine or whatever, right? Whatever
yeah,
the case may be, they want to be in that specific thing, not knowing that 15, 20, 30 minutes away, you
yeah,
have another city that can yield the exact same appreciation,
yeah.
yield just as good of rent, right? And
Right.
potentially have less price point, right, than maybe those areas. So what do you have to say for the investors that say, I heard Round Rock is number 1 and I want to be in only Round Rock and Pflugerville, even if the properties in Round Rock and Pflugerville aren't yielding positive cash flow right now?
I think they really need to take a step back and look at real estate from a bird's eye view. What it is if you go into the markets that are already top of the list, you're probably going to pay a premium, and those lists are very deceiving, right? Because who decides this stuff? These are all statistics, you know, and they say only 50% of all statistics are true. That's also a statistic, right? So be careful whenever you are following statistics. I like to get my boots on the ground and actually look at the real estate that I'm investing in and look at migration patterns. So, for instance, here, I was going to talk to you about this. You know, we have Taylor, Georgetown, Taylor, and the growth along 79, Hutto. Okay, Hutto
Mm-hmm.
is right here. So, right now we have Chewy's that's coming into Hutto off of 130. And if you drive down 130, a lot of this land out here looks pretty vacant,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe that Chewy's is on the forefront. I know it's just a restaurant, but these restaurants hire people to study demographics, and they go in years ahead of time because they want to pay less for that land. So they went in and are opening a location there off of 79 in Hutto. If you see Chewy's locations, I like to think of them as like a McDonald's. You know, you want to go where the McDonald's are. Years ago, that was the trend, right? And even now, people are really aggressively look at land that maybe is owned near McDonald's because why? Their R&D, their research department went in and did all the research. And so here, I think Chewy's moving in is just a, $2.5 million restaurant. It's not like they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars. If you look right here, there's a semiconductor, someone who provides logistics. They're coming in nearby. This thoroughway is getting really built out. FM 973 is going from a double lane to a 4-lane road. And these are all of the areas. Now, when I zoom out on here, you're going to look at Taylor from the map. You're going to say, what is Taylor? Well, Taylor is a hub of a $17 billion investment. And there's other companies popping up here. Like, for instance, there's the Hutto mega project, which is 2 million square feet of industrial property that's going to come up along that major thoroughway along 79. Residential won't, I mean, you're not going to build houses right next to an industrial plant. A lot of the jobs and people that have to commute to those places, these are going to be really well-paying jobs, are probably going to be out here in this area that we're not even seeing developed yet, right? And this stuff down here in Pflugerville and Round Rock, okay, one of Chewy's most strongest performing locations is in Round Rock. So Round Rock is right here. It's not in Austin. So
Mm-hmm.
Austin, easily Austin, one of Austin's Chewy's locations could have been top performing. But these are where the suburb are, the people that are living out there. They're spending money. They have good incomes. you want to future cast it. So these people that are in Pflugerville right now, maybe now's a good time to go into Pflugerville because all of this stuff is going to get built out, bought out, you know? There's not much land to develop on these other thoroughways. These areas are already built out, stuff is already there. You can't create more land, so they got to go take on those projects elsewhere.
You know what I'm seeing? A lot of people that are already have homes in Round Rock and Pflugerville, their
Mhm.
move up places that they're going are Georgetown, Liberty Hill, and Leander.
I think that's a smart move because this out here that we have the Taylor effect, which is like where things are selling for more than they should. And what do I mean by that? I mean that sellers are aggressive in pricing. And so I can see a lot of that, a lot of these people saying, well, I don't have to pay that much for a home in Taylor. I'll go live in Georgetown. I'll go live over there in Leander. I'll drive there every day. No big deal.
Yeah, because not a far drive, 25, 30 minutes. You know what's interesting about that Chewy's being in Hutto? I'm wondering, Roger, if it's going to be similar to what we have in the Cedar Park off of 183. There's
Yeah.
Chewy's, there's Costco, there's
The
oh
Whole
gosh,
Foods. Yeah.
yeah, Whole Foods, Old
Michael's.
Navy, yeah,
Yeah.
Michael's, all of those. I wonder if it's going to be another, they have Stonehill is what it's called in Pflugerville, and Cedar Park, Wolf Ranch in Georgetown, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll be similar to that.
So I know Hutto High School, there was a lot of land around here.
Mhm.
And, I think Dutch Brothers, Starbucks just came in and I was starting to see it get filled in. But there's a lot of opportunity here. I think we see a big open field here.
Yeah.
I think something could easily go in. But
Mhm.
this is the logistics company, right? So yeah, Global Logistics is coming in here. And so they may be using up this land here. I'm not sure. But we do see a lot of land, and I think it's gonna allow for more density and more businesses to come into Hutto. I'm gonna see that because Pflugerville is already that way. I own some real estate in Pflugerville, and I'm starting to see all sorts of restaurants that weren't there before pop up and all sorts of things. So I think that the same will happen to Hutto along the I-30 corridor.
Yeah, I think in Pflugerville, because if you scroll in a little bit, you know where
Mhm.
Amazon is now,
Yeah.
kind of by Lake Pflugerville, but like, closer to
Mhm.
130. There's
Mhm.
so much land down 130 right
Oh,
there
so
that
much.
I have a feeling that's all going to be commercial soon.
Yeah, a lot of industry coming out here. I think, let's see, this is a big industrial corner. Endeavor's coming down.
Oh,
The developers from your husband works with Endeavor. Yeah, their company actually developed the domain and they're
mhm,
going out there and doing some, and they're getting their hands dirty in some industrial, which is really fascinating to me. Retail play too. So those guys spot opportunities so far ahead. So if you
right.
guys, a lot of our listeners might not know where the domain is. The domain is like how would you describe it, Brittany?
I always describe the domain as it started out as an outdoor mall, okay,
Mhm.
but more high end. Then came luxury apartments on top.
Yeah.
Then came a lot of restaurants and shopping. They even have a strip called Rock Rose, which is bars where people go out. And now they even have office space. It's like a
Okay.
big, I don't know how else to describe it than that, but it's just,
Multi-use area, yeah.
yeah, they have
Yeah, so
everything.
much going on. They have everything. And those same developers are going in now and developing this. So I'm excited to see what is the opportunity they're seeing. And if you notice, they're not going back into the city, they're going into these areas that you and I are talking about. If you're thinking about making an investment, just know all of this is Austin, MSA. So explore the different nooks and crannies, really get to become familiar because this 290 corridor, geez, Louise, that's most of my time getting out of town, trying to get to Houston.
Yeah, go down 71.
Yeah, that's what I should do. Yeah, I'm just so addicted to going through Manor. I think I love seeing the growth and I love seeing how it's actually coming to fruition. But 71's incredible too. 71's booming quite a bit.
I mean, I was gonna say, so the traffic on 71 isn't great also
Yeah, I was
sometimes.
on 71 just a few days ago and it's getting pretty busy there around the Del Valley area.
Yeah.
This is the Del Valley area. We have a investment coming in South Austin. A group of bar owners, business owners, decided that they're going to go in. This is the Stastny Mancheca area. So they're going in and spending $270 million on restaurants, living, bars, all that sort of thing. And now if you zoom out, right, it's same scenario as it is up north. We're seeing a lot more green out this way. That's exactly the play right now. Focus on getting on the outskirts where it's less dense, and then your opportunity is going to be good for you for years to come, you know, with all the growth coming in. So other than that, I'll just go over a couple of headlines. This is really good news for Georgetown. They got GAF Energy that's coming in, $100 million project. They want to compete against Tesla in battery production.
Okay.
So this is really good news. And
Where
it's
is this gonna be?
off of 110 Southeast Interloop.
It's right
Yeah,
there.
Georgetown. All right, so let's take a look.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, South
So it's like
Georgetown.
2243 on the other
Mhm.
side of 35. Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
that area. So basically you just go one exit up is 29 right there
Oh,
with
this is
Ranch. Yeah, it's one exit up.
yeah, Liberty Hill. So you're driving down from Liberty Hill to go to work in Georgetown,
And
and
that drive from 183, if you
uh,
circle 183 and 29 so they know, right
oh,
there
yeah, right here.
to 29 and 35, it's literally at like an 18-minute drive. It's not bad
And
at all.
really scenic too.
Yeah.
You get a lot of this greenery in there. Yeah, it's not a bad drive at all. Nice rolling hills, beautiful scenery, and you don't even feel like you're going to work. You feel like you're going to vacation. So they're gonna think I'm selling them on this, but honestly, that's really the truth of it,
Well, you
right?
do see a lot of really pretty horses and some nice cows sometimes. And I
Yeah,
mean,
and then this golf course is really pretty.
yeah, that's really nice over there too.
And so this is good news. I really liked it. It fired me up. Also, yeah, this was the $270 million South Austin. They're trying to create a rainy street kind of vibe.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think. Okay, so beyond that, really, it's news as usual. We have another fund that's been raised, $150 million. Grab the headlines. What people are doing is they're creating these funds because banking and investing is tight, and they know this is still the time to go in. So they don't want, investors don't want something like financing to hinder them. And so they are just raising a lot of money to buy real estate because they know what's coming. So the reason why I share this with everyone out there is that learn from these guys. They, I think, currently have $2.4 billion in their investment pipeline, or currently own $2.4 billion worth of real estate. Houston news, Buc-ee's is made a deal with Mercedes-Benz to install Mercedes-Benz recharging stations. Guess we're gonna have to go buy a Mercedes now.
I was like, I guess we need that.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the people that visit Austin usually refer to Buc-ee's. I'll always hear it. People that are visiting, I didn't get to see Buc-ee's this time.
I mean, honestly, I love a Buc-ee's too. I mean, anytime I go to Houston, you got to stop at Buc-ee's.
Yeah, I definitely stop at Buc-ee's because it's the cleanest.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I think we have another data center coming into San Antonio. So we're becoming data and technology driven. I always like that news. Finally, in Houston, $2.6 billion plan has been approved, still pending funding. Now, there's this guy, I've been following this and I thought it was funny. That's why I'm sharing this. There's some back and forth going on there in the city. And so there's a gentleman by the name of Chris Brown, the city controller. Cool name. But he in a previous email statement, Brown said that he declined the item in the interest of protecting taxpayer funds. So here they had approved $150 million to be spent on the terminal, and he wasn't releasing it because he didn't think it was in the interest of the taxpayers. So finally they pushed that through, and he's having to fork over the money. But that just made the headlines for Houston. So congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
If it's something good, I don't know. There's just so much around this one thing. So although I don't mind an updated airport terminal.
Hey, yeah, I don't think anyone does, huh?
Yeah, more goodies, more stores, more
Yeah.
restaurants. Airport food used to suck, and now I think everybody's kind of leveling up their game in the major metros.
It's
So it's
true.
more of an experience now.
I had East Side Pies last time I was at the airport and it was very delicious.
Oh yeah. I love their pizza actually tastes better than their locations. I like the airport food better than their actual stores. Yeah,
Yeah, the airport was good.
it's a great representation. So other than that, Brittany, that's all the news that we have for today. And it's been kind of a quiet week, other than a bunch of funds raising a lot of money, people getting bumped up and down the list. Other than that, it's been pretty much business as usual.
You know, Roger, can you stop sharing your screen for a minute?
Mhm.
I was looking at our, investment deals that we're going to be sending out, and I wanted to share. There are two duplexes that have come about in Liberty Hill, which is a rarity in itself. Okay. So these duplexes, each duplex is being sold for 500 each. Okay. And this one looked a little bit better just because the rent was slightly higher. Both of them are currently rented out. One ends at the end of April, the other one at the end of October of next year. The
Mhm.
actual rent that you're getting is 3320. When I look at the numbers here, okay, 3320, the potential rent that we can get is 1725 on each side, right?
Mhm.
So cash flow at 25% down, we're positive by 356. But because our current rent is 3320, it's probably looking at closer to like 220 cash flow positive, right?
Yeah.
But being able to find something, number one, let's just be honest, duplexes in general, we normally don't get new construction with them, right?
Yeah.
They're normally older properties. Or if we do get new construction or they're completely renovated, we're looking at 600 plus.
Yeah.
Unless we're on, even further outskirts like Gerald, Temple, things of that nature. But to get it's 2780 square feet total, right? Each one is 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. To me, this is a no-brainer. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that I'm surprised, it's been on the market for 70 or 7 days, so not too long. Surprised that there aren't multiple offers right now just because of the fact that these are such a rare commodity.
Oh yeah. No, I feel really strongly about the Liberty Hill market, and I really can't say enough about it. I'm seeing the 183 construction. It's been, extended all the way into Liberty Hill. And so I think TxDOT has a really good idea of traffic count and how many people are going in through that thoroughway. And so with all the expansion of the roads there, that just tells me that Liberty Hill is set to really blow up in population. We went from 900 people to, you guys saw it, 7,000, 9,000
So
people.
crazy.
Yeah, there's nowhere else. Show me another city of its size that blew up in that same way. And I don't think a lot of people can grasp what's yet to come.
Yeah.
So appreciation and cash flow, you're going to be playing both of those. And in a good market, you can't talk somebody out of a duplex. The market we just came out of, good luck. You want a duplex, wait in line, you know?
Seriously. There
So
was one other that I wanted to share with everyone. So this is in Austin proper.
sure, one second.
Okay. So this property in Austin proper, it's listed at 400,000, 1834 square feet, built in 2020. So very new property, right? Looks really good. I mean, beautiful property. Okay.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
I went ahead and looked at the data as far as what were properties selling for over the past couple of years.
Oh, thank you so much. Please.
If we look at 2020, oh, that's not 2020. Okay. If we look at 2020, right? And I'm doing 2020 from April to the end of 2020. The
Mm-hmm.
average sales price was about 303.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2021, it jumped up to 485
Mm-hmm.
and it stayed there for 2022. And
Wow.
I only did 2022 until May 31st because then interest rates, went higher. So
Yeah.
things dropped a bit. So you're telling me that 485 for the past 2 years, right? And we can buy it for under 400K?
That's a steal. And you know, the headlines are really tricky, Brittany, because what they're going to tell us is that people that bought in Austin, I forget what the percentages are. They're so small, tiny percentages, but they want to blow them up and make big news about them.
Mhm.
The thing about it is, there's been so much appreciation in our market, so much appreciation. This house was at one time comparable to a property that was selling for 485, $100,000 more. And so you just seen somebody that just moved into the neighborhood last year and they bought the same exact thing for 485. Now, if that's not an opportunity for us to step in and own that real estate, I don't know what is. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And what's great about this property is look at this. Even with the higher rates, right? We can still have a small positive cash flow of $45. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know,
We're playing the appreciation game here.
playing the appreciation game big time, but
Yeah.
at the same time, not having to lose money with 25% down, right? Which is what everyone obviously
Can I
wants.
see the kitchen one more time?
Sure.
Oh, nice little corner there to work in. Okay. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Nice property, 2 years old.
And you're buying in Austin.
This is in Austin proper. Yep.
Wow, 2 years old.
Maybe three now, 2020, 2023. But still, 3 years old. I say this one is a go. So there are the good news is, and the whole point of this and why we, share this information with everyone on a weekly basis is that there are still really good opportunities in the market, and we don't know when those opportunities will be gone. So
Yeah.
taking advantage now, buying the property now, looking at the weekly emails now, all of this is going to yield everyone to walk in with instant equity on a property.
Yeah. And I think if we can all just, start small and reach out to Brittany, text her, say, Brittany, that property that you had, could you share more information with me on it? If you have questions about it, ask Brittany. I think being a successful investor means staying on task, doing the things that you're supposed to do. Because it's very easy as investors and as real estate professionals, it's easy for us to assume that our investors have that discipline. But taking a look at the Excel sheet that Brittany prepares and just doing your homework, just taking a look at it once a week, pull it up the day it's released, it goes in your email, set some time aside, and really go through it and say, okay, I have this money that I'm sitting on. What do I do? So I would say rather than building a pool in your backyard or going off and buying a new car or doing any of these other things, they say buy your second home before you buy your second car, right? So that's the saying that really set a flame under my ass. I said, crap, I already own my second car. I need to go buy my second home now. So they're cute little sayings, but again, focus on the fundamentals. Get a hold of Brittany, text her, get in conversation with her. That's where it all starts. And I love this saying that don't do anything big. Do a bunch of small things. And pushing that block down, just pushing that ball down just a little ways down, just kicking the ball forward is going to get you so far.
Yeah. And it's, here's the really good thing, Roger, is sometimes people think I have to do so much homework before I reach out to Bree, or I need to look into everything. That's why we invented the Excel spreadsheet. That's
Yeah.
why we pull properties every single week and spend, 6 to 10 hours a week on this, is because we're doing the homework for you so that you literally have the simple task of saying, this looks good, or I like the way this one looks. These numbers look interesting to me. I can say these are safe investments, right? It's not some crazy risky thing. We're doing the research for you so that you don't have to.
Yeah. It's funny, the way the world works, I will go to eat out with my brother-in-law, and he does this every time. The waiter walks up, Rosie's gonna kill me. And he goes, "Hey, what's good here?" And they say, "We're really known for a chicken fried steak." He said, "You know what? I'll have the chicken tenders." He orders the opposite thing each time. And I had to finally
See of
ask
that.
him, and it's like, why do you do that? They told you what was good. And so I think inherently we have this thing that we want to see what else, what else. And I would say don't get into that mindset. I feel like I'm like being an inspirational speaker today, right? But I think these are fundamentals. This is stuff I'm preparing for the new year in business and reading all these great things. And I think it's just a repetitive theme that don't try to do anything big and grand. Go for the small things. And the small thing means checking your email, asking Brittany questions, and then seeing where that takes you, right? So a lot of people maybe imagine buying the property. That's the first thing they're imagining, but I would invite them to start with the smaller chunks.
Awesome. Well, that's all I have. Anything else?
No, no, no. I look at that email with so much excitement. I know all the work that you do in building it. And so I look at that email every week, and I can't believe the properties that we're putting in front of everyone. And I constantly am thinking, man, I need to buy this. If they don't buy it, I'm going to buy it. So I could end up being everybody's biggest competitor out there. So
So watch out, guys. You better
yeah,
hurry up.
watch out. So I will yeah. But I'm here for you guys first. So if you have questions, reach out to us. And we want to make sure we put you in a property that allows you to buy several more properties in the future, and that we're setting you up to knock over the first great domino in your real estate portfolio. So that's our goal.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Really, I had so much fun with you today.
Oh, this was great.
We're gonna have to bring Rosie on by invite only. I
I can't wait for her to see this part.
Yeah. Well, love you so much, and I love spending time with you on this stuff. And let's have a rocking week.
Yeah. Love you
All
too.
right.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Take care, guys.